Today I'd like to show you how ecosystems are more like humans than sunsets, and how this makes prediction in the face of climate change, urbanization, deforestation, a much harder challenge. As I said, my name is Phillip Staniczenko, and I'm a theoretical physicist. I'm a theoretical physicist who's interested in applying mathematical tools to understand and answer the important ecological problems of our time. And in particular today, I'm going to speak about how understanding the limits to our predictive capability can help us manage environmental risks in a much better way. We have a model that predicts something, ecosystem services, the output of cotton, of coconuts, of strawberries. All of these depend on ecosystems. Species interacting with one another give us some economic benefit. And we have models based on this that predict the output. And indeed, under certain scenarios, we can see that there is some uncertainty. But the problem with models is that they always give you an answer. What we need to ask ourselves is, at what point must we stop trusting our predictions? At what point do we reach the limits of our predictive capability? And to answer that question, I'm going to draw on ideas from information theory. And whether you realize it or not, you use information theory every day. When you pull out your phone and you take a picture, the image is not the same size depending on the picture that you take. And this can be translated into mathematical terms with the notion that good models compress data more. And in particular, I'm going to use one small area of information theory, a very new, modern, exciting area known as the normalized maximum likelihood. This is the normalized maximum likelihood. How well does a model describe a particular data set normalized over how well that model describes all possible data sets? All possible data sets. And we can understand this as meaning, what's the minimum amount of information required to transmit an idea to somebody? A sunset. Here are three possible models for a sunset. The one on the left is too simple. It could be half an orange. The one on the right, too detailed. Maybe this one in the middle is just right. Every time you come across a new sunset, that image does a good job of explaining the essence of what a sunset is. But ecosystems are different. They change. We're damaging them. Urbanization, deforestation, climate change. They're like people. This initial image of a person increasingly gives you a less good idea of what they're going to turn out to be like. They're different. Ecosystems are more like people than sunsets. If we were to plot the fit of a model to data against time, it would decrease. And at some point, it would decrease to a level that it becomes uninformative, that these models become useless. And when we return to our models and our predictions that I started off with the ecosystem services, we now have, using the normalized maximum likelihood, a way of identifying and quantifying prediction horizons. We will be able to exactly determine at what point we have reached the limits of our predictive capability. Thank you.
Could you give us some examples of what would be predictive horizons? Are we talking minutes or days? Like I'm thinking about the weather horizon at this point in Paris. Are we thinking years, decades?
Well, that's very interesting because it varies depending on the system that you're studying. So we're very used to talking about different timescales, glacial timescales, timescales of a human. And it's exactly the same when we talk about ecosystems. There are things that happen on the ground, seasons, the seasonality of fruit. And there's also longer-term risks. In the Amazon, deforestation. It might be over years or decades, or in some cases even centuries. But the nice thing about mathematical models is they don't require an application domain, but a nice model can be easily destroyed by the ugliest of data. And this gives you a means of understanding your data better, but your results are always driven first and foremost by the data that you have.